There are 16 measures in this piece. The time signature is 4/4, so we have 4 counts in each measure, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. We're going to start playing forte, and then on measure 9 we play piano. From measure 11 to 12 we have a crescendo, so we're gonna play gradually louder, and then forte on measure 13 to the end of the piece. We have legatos and staccatos. Remember, this is called articulation, so pay attention to your articulation. See the legatos. You need to play the note shorter and then connected on legatos. Pay attention to the long notes that get 2 counts. Half notes, we have so many half notes there. Hold it for 2 counts. Pay attention also to the sharp sign on F, the 5-finger scale. So you will have many sharps on F. Do you remember when we were talking about phrasing a piece? We have the phrases here. Remember, the slur marks also tell us when we have a phrase, which is a musical sentence, and we can shape those phrases by not giving the same sound to each note. For example, remember the bubble of sound? Sometimes at the beginning and at the end of the phrase, we can play these notes a little softer and in the middle a little louder. Still paying attention to the dynamic mark that you have. In this piece, you really don't have to play with hands separate first, because you will be playing with one hand at a time through the whole piece, except for measure 4 and then the very last measure, measure 16. Also on measure 7, you will play at the same time. Try to find patterns. For example, here, let's find the patterns. This line is exactly the same one as measure 5 and measure 6. And then measure 13 and measure 14 is also the same. For example, measure 7 and measure 8 are the same as measure 15 and measure 16. Try to find the measures that are the same and circle them with the same color. Also pay attention to the rests. We have whole rest that gets 4 counts, and then we have half rest that gets 2 counts, and the quarter rest, 1 count. Remember, silence. So you need to leave your hand and don't play at all. We will have our right hand finger 1 on middle D, treble clef, and finger 1 left hand on middle A, bass clef. Forte, staccato, and then legato. Pay attention to the articulation, which is staccatos and legatos. Dynamics, forte, piano, crescendo, sharp signs, and rests. Forte, 4 counts in each measure. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 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 1 and 2 and and 3 and crescendo. 1 and 2 and 3 and forte. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Remember giving the full value to each note, including the quarter notes that are not staccato. Remember, an staccato quarter note will be one end. Non-staccato quarter note, one end.